Icarus opened his eyes to an orange haze like some malnourished twilight. He smelled damp concrete and heard the steady tap of a slow leak. A slapping sound and a hiss of a flaring match head followed by orange light. You won't be able to move, but it'll wear off in due course. The speaker stepped to his side. Can't have you struggling, he said. I apologize for the medieval lighting, but the quake knocked out the power. The man's hair was crushed into a miner's lamp strapped to his head. He wore a layer of grime and a sturdy welder's apron, and he puzzled over a black box like a small transistor radio, clucking his tongue as he did so. Icarus heard another clicking responding in identical sequences from the shadows of the bunker. Who are you? Icarus asked. He first spoke in a numbed blur like a man talking in his sleep. What are you doing to me? He couldn't move anything below his neck. My name, sir, is 20 Long. Disasters bring looter and looters bring gunfire. I wasn't looting, Icarus said. Of course you weren't. Looters don't wear jammies stenciled from the county psych ward. Then again, I've got an eye for details like that. But whoever locked their sights on you wasn't so discriminating. You took some buckshot in the legs. You may perhaps recall a distinct kaboom sound shortly before you passed out. Are you a doctor? Icarus asked. Am I a doctor? 20 Long scratched his shock of curly hair and chewed his bottom lip. Doctor. Word doesn't ring out like it once did, he said. It was a time back in the day when a man relied on hard work and horse scent. You had to improvise with what tools you had, and there was no substitute for elbow grease. Nowadays, anybody can mail order himself a piece of paper with his name written in fancy curlicue letters that says he's a doctor. So you write a book that says not to check your watch while you're banging your sweetheart. Maybe give a few pointers on what to mumble in your ear while you do it. You slap your name on the cover after the word doctor and you're golden. Buy a turtleneck, hit the talk show circuit, then you retire. Icarus felt a panic blooming. Not my style, said 20 Long. I know my way under the skin. Not as good as some, but better than most. I get my share of repeat clients who pay for my services, plus a little extra to keep quiet about what brought them to me. Not that I ask or care. Money or not, I will never turn someone away. And what else I will not do, sir, is further sully the sanctity of the Hippocratic Oath by abusing the title of doctor. Now relax, good man. You got hit by a long shot, skin deep. You'll be sewn up directly. Please, I need to get back to the hospital. Nonsense! Bunch of know-nothings who can't abide by a cotton ball that isn't boiled in shrink wrap before they use it. No, trust me. Got you covered. This is all smoke and mirrors. Icarus heard the slapping sound again. The air pulsed, and an enormous gray bird thrashed out of the darkness and landed beside him. It looked like a cemetery marker cut from a block of shale. Its scorched, bone-colored beak hooked to a stout point, and the short, round feathers like scales covered its head. A second bird landed, identical, but slightly larger. And the pair regarded Icarus with reptilian, half-littered eyes, as disinterested in his condition as he was distressed. 20 Long snapped his fingers, and the birds climbed atop Icarus and settled onto his legs. His pants were missing. He craned his neck forward, felt the bird's feet like thongs of tough hide clamped to his bare shins. 20 Long passed that small black box over his legs again. It beeped like a watch alarm, and the smaller bird responded likewise. 20 Long stroked its nape for a moment. He placed a lidless coffee can streaked and gummed with glossy black paint beside Icarus's blood-covered knee. The bird lowered its head, and Icarus felt the briefest stab of pain before it stood upright and spat a shot pellet into the can that shined like a penny hitting a tin cup. The bird dipped its head twice more and spat 2 more pellets out in the space of a blink. Good girl, Smoke. 20 Long rubbed her neck again. She's got the gift. Taught mirrors everything he knows. Lucky for you, it's steel shot. Had it been lead, I'd be pulling him out myself, and I'm all thumbs with this sort of thing. Smoke cleaned her beak with quick swipes against her wings and resumed work. Mirrors followed suit with the other leg, while Icarus lay paralyzed. Smoke and Mirrors foraged through his open skin with their black beaks, extracting the buckshot spray one bearing at a time. They crept upward and adjusted perch with each step. They paused to wipe the blood from their beaks or preen the odd feather, then resumed the task at hand without a prompt. Icarus felt the occasional stab or sting, but little else. Mirrors probed more firmly when a shot pellet slipped deeper beneath his skin and Icarus braced himself for the shock to come, but it never did. The bird spat out the wayward bead and continued. Icarus squeezed his eyes shut, measured the crawling time by the rhythm of the buckshot striking the metal can, and when the forging and spitting ceased, Icarus opened his eyes, but Smoke and Mirrors remained. "I'll clean you up just as soon as they move," said 20 Long, "and they'll move just as soon as they get a reward. I got some pine nuts around here someplace ought to do the job, some fresh threads for you too. I'll return in due course." Icarus could lift his head higher now, and the sensation was returning to his fingertips. The surgeon birds regarded him with their reptile eyes from their perch atop his hips. His panic had subsided, and feeling as much foolish as grateful, he smiled and said, "I suppose I should thank you too." "Think nothing of it," said Smoke in a flawless mimic of his own voice, and his panic returned. Smoke scrabbled her way to the top of his chest and held her black beak to his eyes. "We have a message," she said, in his own voice again. "The Lord has a job for you. Thanks."